Picture this: a reviewer opens your portfolio, sees this cover, and their brain goes, "Tell me more." If your projects can't snatch that reaction in the first 2 seconds, they're toast. Design directors blast through portfolios faster than TikTok's 1 minute skin tops. When your project flow feels like a binge worth Netflix arc, you become to the candidate they DM for an interview. Over the next few minutes, we're going to strip your car design portfolio down to its chassis and rebuild it with the storyteller's precision. First, I'll expose the 4 class potholes that keep good work from landing. Then, I'll walk you side by side through a cinematic project flow: cover, briefing, mood, inspiration, sketch, themes, and that money shot final design, so you know exactly where every render and caption belongs. Ready? Let's roll. Let's pop the hood on the 4 portfolio potholes that shred even the slickest visuals. First up is the everything bagel. You've crammed in every napkin doodle since freshman year because, hey, more is more, right? Wrong. Reviewers don't taste variety, they taste confusion. Imagine scrolling Netflix and every genre plays at once. You would bounce. Same here. The moment your sketch dump feels random, a director closes the tab and moves on. Next is the museum mode. This is where your slides look like they belong in the Louvre. Gorgeous hero renders floating on pristine white, but zero context. You're hoping the work speaks for itself, but you never learned the language. Recruiters need to know why that line is there, how that proportion solves a problem. Without the backstory, even a flawless render feels like a pretty poster with no move behind it. Then there's buried treasure. You stash your hottest project on slide 18 because you want to build suspense. Spoiler alert: suspense only works if the audience sticks around. Hiring managers skim like they're speed reading headlines. If your showstopper isn't in the first few slides, it might as well not exist. Think of it like Instagram. You lead with the banger, then let the feed explore the deep cuts. Finally, the wall of text to tragedy. You know the slide. Microscopic copy, 6-point font, paragraphs thicker than a V12 engine block. Reviewers will not zoom in. They squint, they sipe, they swipe. If a caption doesn't fit inside a tweet, tighten it. Remember, captions are seasoning, not the stew. So, if your current deck reads like a cluttered garage, an art gallery with no guides, a treasure map that starts on page 20, or a novel squeezed onto a stick note, congrats, you've met the 4 horsemen of portfolio rejection. But breathe easy. In the next few minutes, we're rebuilding your project flow, so clean it practically storyboards itself. Alright, let's rebuild your project like a blockbuster trailer, each slide earning its screen time. We'll start with the project cover. Treat as a teaser frame. Swap the predictable full car glance shot for a cinematic close-up of a signature detail. Make the glowing shark fin taillight or the seamless glass-to-metal shoulder line. Crop it tight, edible title, and nothing else. It works like a movie teaser. Reviewers see a mouth-watering fragment and can wait for the review in the next slide. Briefing: raise the stakes in 2 breaths. Slide 2 is pure tension. Spell out the challenge and the handcuffs. Target: Gen Z city drivers. Constraint: must park in a 3.5 meter. Hit 400-mile range. Stay under 25K. No fluff, just a problem that makes every following line feel inevitable. Use this slide to tell what the project is, who it's for, and why the car exists. A briefing is the North Star. Ignore it, and every sketch drifts off course. By spelling out scope, audience, and purpose up front, you hand the reviewer a mental checklist that makes each following slide click into place. Mood board, make the user visible. This slide is the lifestyle snapshot that tells reviewers who your car is for before they even see its silhouette. Curate 3 to 5 punch images that capture your target audience words, the spaces they haunt, the gadgets they flaunt, the weekend thrills they chase. Make it a down Griffith alley, neon-sold sneakers on a smart scooter, friends sharing street food under string lights, a minimalist smartwatch UI, or a rooftop DJ set pulsing against the skyline. Each photo should whisper, this is their vibe. No Pinterest fillers. Every frame must connect back to the brief and spark. Oh, so that's the driver. When recruiters feel the persona, the rest of your project instantly makes emotional sense. Inspiration board. Show the DNA. There are a dozen clever ways to build an inspiration board, but this stripped down 4 image format consistently performs best because it's brutally simple and laser focused. If the mood board painted your driver's lifestyle, the inspiration board is the DNA swab that proves where your design genes comes from. Think of it as a forensic lineup of forms, patterns, and materials you splice into the car. Each image earns its spot with the caption: classical symmetry, curves of elegance, futuristic monuments, fluid volume. So a recruiter instantly sees functional code, not random Pinterest fluff. In one brief, the recruiter sees the genetic handoff from reference to sketch, and that clarity is exactly why this lean approach outperforms the cluttered alternatives. Ideation sketches where the magic hits the page. This is the slide reviewers linger on, the moment where your briefing, mood board, and inspiration DNA finally collide. Storytelling is your GPS here. It guides their eye through the chaos so they feel the concept evolving in real time. Think of your sketches like a Lego bags. Every piece has its own pouch, not a random pile on the floor. Drop 16 to 24 sketches on the canvas, enough to show range, not enough to drown anyone, and cluster them by theme from left to right. Big high-impact ideas go left and command the most space, supporting wrist shrink as they march toward the right edge. Keep renderings in your back pocket for the next phase. This board is about raw thinking. Lines should sing with confident weight changes, proportions need that jaw-dropping stance, and every promising thing deserves the full 3-view treatment, side, front, and rear, providing you can sculpt in 3D, not just doodle in 2D. Do that, and recruiters won't just see sketches, they'll watch a concept being born. The 3 key themes, rolling to the third act. Think of this trio of slides as the moment the move soundtrack swells. Every brainstormed idea is now distilled into 3 headline concepts that drive the rest of story. Each theme hits a different note: stance, sustainability, user-centric magic, but all of the traces straight back to your brief and the DNA we lay down on the inspiration board. To prove you can think in 3D while presenting in 2D, give each theme a tight 3-view panel: side view, front 3/4, rear 3/4. Nothing more, nothing less. Those 3 angles are the fundamental axes recruiters scan to judge stance, proportion, and surfacing flow. Anything beyond that just clutters the stage. Keep the render technique quick but volumetric. Marker and delay or soft digital shading, just enough value to show how the surface breathed without sliding to full photo real. Under each 3-view panel, you can drop a one-line rationale that ties the theme back to the brief and DNA board. By limiting yourself to the 3 essential views, you demonstrate discipline clarity. The reviewer can grasp volume, stance, and detail refinement at a glance. See that everything is resolved from a major angles and feel the narrative lightning from the grand finale. Save the hyper-polished hero renders for the last act. Right here, the basics, executed brilliantly, do all the heavy lifting. Final design, the grand finale. End your story with a grand finale worth of Tony Stark's Infinity Stone snap. One irresistible climax that wipes every shred of doubt from the reviewer's mind. The final design should be composed by a 3-slide knockout. Slide 1, Hero Side View. Serve a full-length cinematic render. Dramatic ring lights, skinning the belt line, reflections tuned to carve each tension curve, stands so low it looks coiled for launch. Slide number 2, dual front and rear 3/4 composition. Compose both angles in one clean frame, front on the left, rear on the right, sharing the same ground plane and lighting setup. This lets recruiters absorb face and tail in a single glance, while your material transitions and brand signatures stay perfectly consistent. Slide number 3, mode piece. Drop the car into its natural habitat. Maybe a mist-veiled boulevard at Blue Hour, a wind-swept coastal charger, or a velvet black studio with soft ring glow. If you enlist AI, confine it to roughing in the backdrop. Then reclaim the file in Photoshop or your 3D toolchain to perfect reflections, color grade, and micro highlights. The result should feel like a billboard-ready key visual. Undeniably, your craftsmanship, no cosmic gauntlet required. All right, let's skid through everything we just built at Racepace. We started with a teaser cover that grabs eyeball into seconds flat. We locked it in a laser clear briefing, painted the user's lifestyle with the vibe-rich mood board, stamped our DNA on the inspiration board, unleashed 24 disciplined ideation sketches, distilled the chaos into 3 power themes, and finally snapped Thanos style with the 3 slides, finally that screams, launch me. Here's the stick takeaway. Hook fast, guide the story, and on fireworks. Do that, and reviewers don't just see your work, they feel it shifting gears in their gut. Now, if you're serious about taking your portfolio to the next level and want my guidance, click on the card above to watch the video with the detailed information about my one-on-one mentoring program. We'll talk about your goals, your design style, and how to make your portfolio truly stand out. So, if you're ready to storyboard your portfolio like a Marvel climax, hit subscribe and tap the bell right now. Fresh design tactics drop every week, and I promise you leave every recruiter in the dust. I'll see you in the winner's circles. Ciao!